All right, I know that this first sentence is basically going to make all of you click off right away, but this update was so unexciting. This might actually be the first home base report I have considered skipping in over a year. And that's not to say that it's bad news. I'm just saying I was watching a movie and trying to get to bed, and I only got out of bed because I like to keep you guys informed. And Archer was, as usual, able to keep things interesting because he's able to read inside the lines. And by that, I guess we'll start with that, actually. He mentioned, he sent a list of what he found in the files. All of these hero abilities got touched. And I'm a little surprised to say that I don't recognize all of these. Dead Drop, Direct Threat, 4 on the floor. Some of these might be team perks. Heart of Stone. I think that's Stoneheart Farah, right? Is that? I'm glad I loaded up the game. I'm gonna go check that. All of those got changed. Obviously, you just saw the list, so if you want to pause and read. Does she do? She does Cupid's Arrow, so I'm not actually sure what Heart of Stone does. If you guys want to fill in the blanks, hey, go for it. Comment below. If if somebody wants to go ahead and make a detailed list of everything. I know the base solo, I don't actually know. Burger Buff is where they drop on the ground, they heal you, and they give you energy. Demo Derby is actually really fun. It's from Gold Nox, and you know what? While I'm clicking around, I can just get gameplay for that real quick. You guys know you can just like search on my channel. You can also see the Pokemon videos I've been making, but hey, Gold Nox, boom, mute that right away, and you basically just run around and drop landmines. And YouTube's autoing to 440 nowadays, so 480. So that's actually a really fun ability, and the only reason I'm even going on all this effort to bring up the gameplay is that it doesn't do a lot of damage. Like it's really hard to use. I really enjoyed this ability, and I honestly, disappointingly, never actually brought it back out again. I recorded it day one and then just never touched it. And you can see that it kind of works. It's fun. But you know what I mean? Like it just is it's one of the many hero abilities that needs to get buffed. And I know I mentioned this in my most recent video, and I do intend to make a video on it. But like I said, end of the day, I haven't actually slept since my last video, kind of thing. Even though it's 6 a.m. Don't read into it. But it looks as though they are changing stuff. These are not changed yet. This is not a live update, but these are hero abilities that they have tweaked. And a couple of these that surprise me are Mad Tidings and Phase Siphon. So Return of the Dragon, even. I think that was just like Dragon Slash cost. That might be energy cost. I'm not certain. But Mad Tidings, I thought that was a perfectly good ability. That's where it ramps up the damage over time. That's Crackshot's ability. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Phase Siphon is a personal one because I used to use, oh my goodness, I don't even remember her name anymore. Let me go find her. Let's just talk about her real quick. This chick, yeah, the vampire lady, Sanguine Dusk. She gives you health and does damage when you phase shift through enemies. Let me get the code out of the way there. Yeah, so that is used to be a really good ability, and now it's just garbage. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for Epic. In fact, I want you guys to know this ability sucks. 12 base damage is nothing. In fact, 12 base damage is what I just talked about in my most recent video. With my Shock Tower buffs and a full party, 12 base damage is 19,000. In a 164 player, that is like the equivalent effectiveness of a pickaxe. I know the pickaxe does less than that, but that's nothing. That literally needs to be like quintupled to even be considered useful. So, maybe quintupled is a little harsh there, but yeah, even in the lead, it's kind of a joke. So, the fact that they are tweaking these is quite good, and only reassures that I want to make a video. But this was actually real files of things that got changed or adjusted or tweaked recently. We don't even know what this means. Honestly, this could mean that they updated anything and the file is just bumped to the top of the recent. I've done that on my own videos where I'll move a file around and then suddenly it's my most active folder, even though I did nothing. So anyway, I just wanted to be very, very thorough that this is just, it doesn't technically mean anything yet, but it's interesting enough. And he's also mentioning that there's a lot of cleanup in the folders. Oops, I took that away. And that nothing really changed or is even worth talking about. But stuff is happening. They have moved Save the World to its own folders, separate from Battle Royale, and what I suppose that would mean is that Save the World updates could happen separately, meaning they don't have to shut down all of Battle Royale for a Save the World update, which they never do. Save the World is not important enough. I mean, raw facts. What they usually do is they piggyback Save the World updates onto downtimes when Battle Royale gets a big update. That's when Save the World's like, hey, update us while you're there, and that's how we've been getting updates. So we have always been second priority. We know that we're not the multi-billion-dollar game. I'm not naive to that. It sucks. But the fact that we have our own folder now means we're totally detached from BR, and might be able to get our own updates at a more fluid pace. I don't know. And then I'm going to paraphrase all of this because it's all Major Oswald speak. You guys are cute at Epic. I'm not into the whole but basically what he's saying is that hero abilities and weapons no longer add to the crowd control. So those who are out of the loop will not know this, but whenever you freeze or push around with a wall launcher or apparently impact with a broadside, I haven't tested that one, enemies 5 times or more. So once they get 5 hits of those traps, they will no longer be affected by them. And that affected Zenith and Ice Queen in the lead with her seismic smash, punching on the ground, freezing enemies that way. You can only do it 5 times, and that no longer affects heroes and their abilities and weapons. So if you freeze an enemy with your snowball launcher or your blizzard blitzer, for example, that will no longer be capped at 5 times. However, as he mentions later on here, if they have already had that immunity activated by traps, they can't be frozen anymore. So basically, if an enemy has gone through your tunnel, either make sure they're dead, which I help you with in my trap tunnel video recently. I'm going to link it down below, but I always forget this stuff, so I'm going to show it anyway. It's pretty easy to find. It's a very recent video. Good one, worth watching. I put time into it, and a whole lot of timestamps and stuff. Basically, if an enemy even has that immunity effect active, if you were trapping properly, they should be dead by now. Or just shoot them. That works too. I mean, what did he say here? A good mixture of shooting and trapping is key, which to us non-jailers, which should be hopefully everybody, because that's how the game's intended to be played, that should be it. And I know, jailing, that's a hot topic. I'm not even going to get into it. I don't care enough. I've heard all of your opinions. You don't need to comment. I've literally read hundreds. Very nicely worded ones. I appreciate your opinions. And very harsh ones using choice language, which, my goodness, you guys really think I'm responsible for the jailing changes. They had their minds made up long before wow, some people are rude. It's the internet. I'm not surprised, but wow. Anyway, Hound Jonesy's coming back. He's really good for grenades, but grenades really suck. I'm not sugarcoating it anymore. I'm just being honest. They need another damage buff. Like, here's the thing about abilities, and I'm going to mention this in my hero video if I remember. Abilities, in large, Happy Holidays helped a ton, have either too low of a cooldown, or if they have a good enough cooldown to be spammed, like grenades, they do too little damage. And I get it. They don't need to be overpowered, and I don't want them to be. But, like Warcry, for example, an entire 6-hero loadout dedicated to buffing Warcry still has about a 25-second cooldown, I think, even with Colonel Wildcat in the lead and Happy Holidays. That's ridiculous. You're telling me that there's a 25-second gap between, like, all of my heroes being useful and me just being a naked existing character, and grenades are no different. I actually really like my grenade loadout that I built long ago based on the view count of the video. Nobody else did. And I get it, because grenades are kind of It was even displayed in my video as a Stonewood V-Buck easy loadout. So Hound Jonesy is fantastic for grenades, but I would love to see grenades be not overpowered, but useful, because to use him effectively is a 6-hero loadout dedicated to grenades, no room for anything else, and it's still not viable in like the 164 players. So maybe make abilities scale a little harsher. It's fun in Stonewood, but it's Stonewood. So anyway, war games, find a shortcuts coming around, kind of is what it is. War games is it is what it is. And then cram session. So this is interesting. Any mini boss alert is going to have extra, essentially everything here. XP, evolution materials, re-perk, perk up. All of that is great. Mini boss alerts will continue to drop tickets. And then added 4 series of quests, each of which has 10 stages that will... Oh, yes. So that's the one where you have that quest line where you just need to do more. And that just gives you extra everything. XP, perk up, evolution materials, gold. It's nothing, like, insanely good, but if you're a lower level player or somebody who needs to grind some stuff, that's good. And I must have gotten April 4th wrong because I've been repeating that like a mantra, but all of this is going to be ending April 3rd. So that's when the event shop and everything clears out. Venture season over. You have about a month. So... take that with what you will. Staredown Southie gives lasers to Teddy. Good, I think. I actually don't know. Haven't used them much or noted a difference when I did. And then Stop the Meltdown is another war game situation going on. And there you go. So that's why I spoke so long. Like, if you thought, wow, he got 8.5 minutes in and didn't even start on the home base report, that's why. That's it. That's literally all there was about the home base report. And also, some people have been reporting that Major is doing 70% soul ensnared in the lead. I think that's what he's supposed to do. I'm not even certain, but I have heard from some people that if you have the soul ensnared 6 perk and Major, I don't even know if you need floor spikes, you can freeze an enemy. So pretty cool. I don't know what to do with that information, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, things are happening, but not all of it is happening today. And then we have, Rucksack and the other guy coming back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the Pokemon videos if you're interested. I'm really passionate about it. And going forward, as soon as, I don't have a timeline, but I am running out of Save the World stuff. I'm very optimistic and I like to cover, but I have made a lot of videos on this game. And I have left very few stones unturned. So I don't think this is a surprise to anybody, but I am transitioning to a new game. Reluctantly, frankly, because I don't have anything to work with, Epic. Come on, you guys. I'm doing my best. I'll continue with the daily stuff, but I'm remaking old videos at this point, which is good. Ground Pounder needed an update. My old Best Weapons videos needed an update after the 12.0, but I only have 6 more of those. And then what do you want me to do? Top 10 weapons? I think it'd be fun. Top 10 shotguns and whatnot, but even then, there's 10 good ideas out of that series. And then what do? I play a shit ton of Pokemon Go, so I'm going to start covering that. I'll see you guys later.